Well, this is not the first time that the military has come under fire for ignoring sexual assaults. The Pentagon estimates last year alone that there were about 19,000 sex assaults. Most went unreported and unpunished. CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, spoke with several former servicewomen who all shared the same story. Once they reported the assault, they were fired from the military.
Doing the right thing was in 21-year-old Stephanie Schroeder's blood.
I joined shortly after 9/11. I thought it was the right thing to do.
6 months after enlisting in the Marines, she found herself training at a base in Virginia. One Saturday, she decided to blow off steam with some fellow Marines.
We went out to dinner. I got up to go to the restroom, and my attacker followed me and forced his way into the bathroom. I went to pull the door shut, and he grabbed it and flung it back as hard as he could and charged into the bathroom and slammed the door behind him.
Back on base, Schroeder reported what happened to the officer in charge.
I told her, I need to report an assault. And she just looked at me, and then she started laughing and said, "Don't come bitching to me because you had sex and changed your mind."
Schroeder says she took a lie detector test about her assault and passed, but charges were never filed against her attacker. In fact, she was forced to work with him side by side for over a year. Meanwhile, her rank was reduced and her pay was docked. She says, all because of the incident.
If you want to keep your career, you don't say anything. You just bear it. You just deal with it.
But dealing was a struggle. In early 2003, 5 months pregnant, with her now husband in Iraq, Schroeder felt suicidal. She went to see an on-base psychiatrist.
The first time he was very nice. The second time we got into the assault. And then shortly after that, the chain of command said, well, we're starting an administrative discharge against you.
On June 30th, 2003, Schroeder received her discharge papers. The reason given for separation? Personality disorder. A disorder that the textbook for psychiatrists defines as a long-standing pattern of maladaptive behavior, beginning in adolescence or early adulthood.
It makes absolutely no sense medically for people to be diagnosed all of a sudden after being sexually assaulted as an adult in the military to say, no, you've had this all along.
Anu Bhagwati is a former Marine and also executive director of Servicewomen's Action Network. That's a veterans advocacy group.
It's also extremely convenient to slap a false diagnosis on a young woman or man and then just get rid of them.
And that was really one of the critical issues here, the question about a false diagnosis, this personality disorder, what exactly was happening, why was it being used to discharge these women? We had a chance to ask Defense Secretary Leon Panetta specifically about that as well. Take a listen.
Obviously, our goal here is to try to put in place what we need in order to deal with these cases as we move forward. There are procedures within the Department of Defense that allow these individuals to raise these concerns and determine whether or not they have not been treated fairly. But I think, and I hope that they'll follow those procedures to determine whether or not that has been the case.
And he said, you know, look, they can appeal through a discharge review board. I know you talked to him about this as well, but
right.
Stephanie Schroeder, the woman you just met in the piece, that's exactly what she's doing, but it's a long process. And you know, she's been very emotionally affected by this as well, just her question of her own well-being, her safety.
Sure, these women wanted to serve.
Yeah.
They wanted to be there.
And they wanted to feel safe while they were serving, especially with their own fellow Marines.
And they should.
Yeah.
Sanjay, thanks.
Thank you.
That does it for us. Michael Holmes in for Suzanne Malveaux right now.